YouTube is one of those places you just can't. You're just not going to be able to fight it too much.
Yeah, they have a very anti-masculine slant on YouTube.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
anti-masculine, anti-right wing, anti pretty much even center right or even center left in some cases.
Yeah, even I mean, I did an interview with a friend of mine. Maybe sometime we could get him on. Previous MMA fighter. It's a guy I lived with down in Ashford. But yeah, we were talking about him as a father and how he was raising his kids and the importance of being a positive role model and stuff like that. And I got demonetized like immediately after I uploaded that interview. And I was like, what is the issue about a father, being a good dad? And he's still married. He's not even a single father. He's just a family man. And it's just ridiculous. I don't know what these algorithms are and what they're trying to promote.
Yeah, it's definitely it's really confusing. And then even I don't know if I know you don't quite keep up as much on this, but so Steven Crowder from Lauder with Crowder basically, do you know he's basically going to war with Vox?
Yes, I've seen that they've been trying to mass flag him to get him off, and I saw those videos. Yes.
Yeah, and like people from Vox were actually like directly targeting him, and how he's showing like how how come they have they pretty much have YouTube in their back pocket. They can give him a call. Hey, this video, that guy, they're attacking me because Crowder's done all these rebuttal videos to Vox's videos, but then him and his lawyer and all this stuff have to go to summits, have to actually send in legal paperwork to serve these people to get their point across. They can't just call them up and get a hold of them, which is showing favoritism, we'll just say.
Yes, I think that's fair. And considering we are on the same platform for the live stream, may not be a good idea to bite the hand that feeds us. But I completely agree. I think he was showing an example of one guy who does the videos of Vox videos. Whoever the presenter was on Twitter and basically called out Steven Crowder like, hey, this guy's harassing me. And YouTube responded to his Twitter. Like, they were so on point that they just jumped on the guy's Twitter and be like, yeah, we're going to look into this. But as you say, for Steven Crowder, he doesn't have anybody responding to his Twitter. He's not direct messaging anybody. And he's just not getting any traction.
Well, yeah, you see people like Ruben does this a lot. He'll just say, hey, at team YouTube or something, how come I had just had this video go up and it didn't go anywhere? No reply from YouTube. Yet a lot of these left-wing type of groups, they tweet, and within within the day, they're getting replies from YouTube. And it's
Correct.
like, what the hell's going on?
No, exactly. It's
so, yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Even for, like, as I say, the stuff that I've done, and this is why Robert Frank and many others have kind of given up on, he doesn't do YouTube videos anymore. His big thing is Instagram, as well as, on the Facebook side, I don't know if you heard about this, but CrossFit, the gym, lifting tires and
right,
kickboxing people, they've abandoned Facebook altogether.
Yeah, right? Yeah. I just heard him mention that on a podcast, and I was like, what the hell's going on there?
Yeah, it's the same thing. They promote health, people in good physiques and stuff like that, and that's all part of that runs against the inclusion and body positivity movement. So showing a guy or a girl or a woman or a boy or whatever, or something in between that's in good shape, apparently it's offensive to fat people.
I mean, you can you can't post anything about positive fatherhood. Positively promoting fatherhood, parenthood, responsibility, self-discipline, success. But it is totally okay to show, and this is kind of the problem, is you can show, I'm sorry, but grotesque fat people, preteens in drag.
Yeah, that's a big one.
That's the big one now. That really pisses me off. You could show, I mean, this isn't even like, and this is not to sound anything like the whole, like the 80s and 90s, parents, were all afraid of like rap music because we
Right.
had this is like you're literally like because that's just okay, the gangster mentality, the violence that might be portrayed in some videos or songs. That's these people are adults, they're just doing whatever, so you can't really stop, that's just like expression. But now you actually have promotions of all sorts of things, unhealthy behavior as normal. It's like if you make a rap song, and it's very much just like, I don't care what you think about me, I'm just going to do this. Some people like it, some people don't. The whole fat culture is you have to accept it.
Correct.
It's not like, I mean, if fat people just like went out and did whatever they wanted, I really wouldn't care.
I mean, we could speak as two fat people, so we have fat people privilege. Um, um, no, I completely agree that
Hey, I identify as curvy, okay?
pleasantly plump. Yeah, yeah, totally. But yeah, I mean, I'm not offended by people who are fit, or I don't look at any of those kinds of things and have any kind of emotional issue. I don't know. Do you get a response watching like Arnold Schwarzenegger or some of these guys?
I mean, when Arnold Schwarzenegger is operating machine gun, I mean, there's other responses, but
What?
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. This is
Are you
just
saying
this.
that a bloodbath turns you on? Is this it? Like men
Hey,
with big
there's a
guns?
reason. There's a reason men are drawn to movies and shows and such with explosions and guns.
Right, right. It speaks to our primordial, ancestral brain.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
it's literally like, it's violence times a thousand, and we're not involved in it. So we're like, just, but there's something about what you see, you get kind of drawn into it. You're actually, it's like you're there. It's,
right.
I mean, what did we used to, you look at our ancestors, what did they really get into was, they had to have this drive and ambition to kill animals. Well, now we get to do that on a larger scale. And there's something about that motivates us, kind of drives us, entices us, so to speak. So, anyways, that's the
I mean,
response. But
that's
but I'm
that's
not but I'm not sitting there looking at Arnold and like, oh, woe is
grabbing
me.
the lube.
Oh God.
It's
No,
like, oh,
no,
he's
death.
grabbing he's grabbing the M16. Give me the lube. This is going to be like a story on my Instagram now, right?
Oh my God. Oh boy. We're gonna get letters. No.
No, I fully get what you're saying. And I mean, this is a big thing. I don't know if you've read Jack Donovan and his series of books, The Ways of Men, becoming the barbarian and stuff.
Not
And he
yet.
talks about that. He talks about being a man. There is an innate conquest desire in men for excellence, and it doesn't mean necessarily over people. It could be over themselves, over their natural environment, whatever the case might be. And we don't have that anymore in this society, right? I mean, we don't really have struggle in the West. We're pretty comfortable, but that's why things like video games, somewhat violent rap, even violent porn, these things are kind of thriving. Ironically, it's a lot of women that are watching the violent porn. If that's if that's any kind of indicator.
Well, violence, I mean, violence is a big part of human nature. And I'm not talking like, I mean, violence as a general thing is not restricted to just, fights or whatever. It's like we had to violently hunt prey. We had to violently fight for mates. We had to violently fight for a lot of different things. And just, that's why working out gives us a certain feeling. That's why, accomplishing things through physical exertion gives us a certain feeling. Um, but yeah, there's something about that which is in us that makes us just enjoy violence. You know, sometimes it gets a little weird, and people like watching some really weird violence type of stuff, which that's a whole nother thing. But violence as a whole is pretty much appeals to almost everyone on some level, I'd say.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, this is something. One of the most remarkable accomplishments of Western civilization is the rule of law. If you really think about it, if you really think about it, people come together to make an agreement, whether it's a constitution or whatever the case might be, and they decide to abide by a piece of paper and a consensus. But they hold an idea as paramount. And if you think about it, that is actually a very remarkable thing. Because what is it that we have without the rule of law? You have the rule of force, and it's basically mob rule. Whoever has the biggest gun wins. So violence, in a sense, if you don't have the rule of law and we don't have discussion and debate, the only way that we get anything done is by force. And that is the ultimate truth. Like if something terrible happens, whatever peaceful society we think you have, if there's a stronger force that comes in and invades and wipes it out, let's just be real. All your ideals don't hold up to force, and everybody knows this instinctively. We don't like to admit it, but that's why there's such a desire to curtail it. But they don't understand that this has been part of our nature for thousands and, well, millions of years, possibly. And it's not as easy just to say, yeah,
Right.
let's just turn it off.
Well, yeah, while we can keep it under